Since lockdown began, residents have had to spend even more time in those homes, which, as we heard, is a major source of fear and anxiety. Well, Priyanka Abbey joins me now in her apartment, where the cladding insulation does not comply with building regulations. Priyanka, thank you so much for joining us. Not sure if you heard the piece we just played, but we got a real good idea in terms of the mental impact living in a property that doesn't comply with safety standards is like. Just tell us about your experience.
The last few months have been very hard, particularly if you think about it, lockdown was there to keep us safe. I've been in lockdown with my son in a home that is combustible, that could go up any time into flames, and potentially we would not make it out in time. Anxiety levels are over the roof, really sleeplessness is really one of the things you worry constantly, and just this constant fear ongoing to be locked up in a home that's not safe. The last few months have been very stressful.
So I understand that you have your own process in terms of the people in the building, have your own process to watch over each other, to protect each other should the worst happen. Just explain that to our audience, please.
So we do have a waking watch in place. Now, how that looks like, there is externally two people in the building who keep making rounds of the building. If there is a fire, anything is spotted, they would need to knock on each door. There's over 100 flats to make sure that each family makes it out safely on time, which is obviously very worrying. They keep patrolling the building, which is great. But if you think about it, every 15 minutes you hear these steps and you think, OK, are they going to knock on my door? Are they not knocking on my door? So it's just this continuous fear, and you're really abandoned. There's no one out there to help you and assist you. It's quite difficult, to say the least.
So every night, it sounds like literally you're still living in fear if the worst should happen. What is going on? What have you been told? What needs to be done to make sure your building is safety compliant?
Well, the cladding itself, there's external factors that needs to be changed. Within the building, there's some other work that needs to be done in terms of what the owner of the building is telling us. They're just saying it will need time. They'll let us know if they are successful to apply for the funding that the Chancellor announced earlier this year. But it all depends. So in the meantime, it's just expected that it's fine for us to live in a home that is not safe enough to get a mortgage on, but it's safe enough for us to live with our children and our families.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they told us as well, Priyanka. Five News did get in touch with One Housing Group, which are the freeholders of your building. They told us, we do understand the frustration and worry that our residents find themselves in over cladding on their buildings. This is a national issue and is affecting all landlords. Now, in terms of Rivington, we are continuing to do the necessary works with qualified fire professionals and in conjunction with Berkshire Fire Brigade. We are currently looking at all options in terms of the Building Safety Fund, as well as awaiting details on how to apply for funding to cover leasehold costs with the government, which the government will set out in July. Are you satisfied with that?
I'm afraid not. We had a tragedy 3 years ago. What are we waiting for? There is a public health crisis. Majority of leaseholders are stating that they're anxious. They have suicidal thoughts. They don't know how to face their tomorrow. If tomorrow another Grenfell tragedy strikes, who will take responsibility? It's just not acceptable. 3 years on, there's thousands of buildings that are still not safe.
Well, Priyanka, do keep in touch with 5 News. Let us know how you get on. But thank you so much for talking to us.